right, we welcome you back inside the Paramount Fine Foods Centre here in Mississauga, Ontario. We are getting set for the first of our two semi-final games in the men's D competition. We have got the Brampton Hats Off taking on the Hamilton Ducks. The Ducks to our left in the green and yellow, and the Brampton Hats Off in the darker jerseys with the black and the red pants. Hi everybody, my name is George Scott, and pleased to be joined for this game by the man, the legend himself, former president of the ISBHF, Hall of Canada, Hockey Hall of Canada, Ball Hockey Hall of Famer, current head of the Great Britain Ball Hockey program, just Mr. Ball Hockey, George Gortsos.
Glad to be here, George.
Good to have you along, sir. Should be a good one, a semi-final. Into that situation where you win, you move on. You lose, you're playing for bronze tomorrow. Nobody wants to win bronze if you can have a shot at gold or silver. All right, stumped in by the Brampton Hats Off. The Ducks move it up through center. Good pass. Right on the stick of Attridge. He put it wide, though. It's cleared off the glass. It'll come out. Squeezed out along the boards. Ducks again move it up. Attridge through the middle. Over to Pilon. Shot on goal. Our first shot on goal. We'll get the goalies for you in just a moment. That's Justin Bishop in goal for the Ducks. Ball bounces up in the air and behind the goal. That goes off a stick up high into the rafters.
George, I like the way the Ducks have started this game. They're moving the ball really well, and in a big semi-final, you want to get your team in a rhythm, and if you can, get the upper hand quick, because it really makes a difference in the style your team can play. So, great start by the Hamilton team.
Jason Gill steps in to take the face-off for the Hats Off from Brampton, this all-Ontario competition. Won by the Ducks into the corner. Kakovic behind the goal, the captain of the Ducks. They'll move it up the left side. That pass in behind everybody, and that's going to be a flooring call. And by the way, George, I am on a one-man crusade to have it called flooring.
No, I think that's the way it should be. And you know, George, it's great to be with the Bob Cole of ball hockey and Foster Hewitt. You've done ball hockey all over the world, so it's an honor for me to be here in the booth with you and to enjoy your excellence as you let the fans know about this game.
Well, I have a lot in common with Bob Cole. We're both bald, and we're both from Newfoundland and Labrador, and it stops there, I think.
It's a good place there.
I like it. This is Kakovic. Take his time. No rush in his game. That pass right on the tape. Was looking to get it to Austin Gretsch. Knocked off his stick. Cooper will backhand it down into the Duck zone. Back to pick it up there is Tyler Heisey. Back to Kakovic. For Gretsch. Gretsch takes it off the board, sends it in. Gretsch heads off to the bench. In there on the forecheck quickly, Andrew Woods. Woods holding him off, gets it out in front. Ball went wide off the stick of the Duck player. Nelson gets back first for the Ducks, moves it up ahead to Woods, who'll go back to his defenseman. Slow build-up for the Ducks. They'll take their time.
You notice Hats Off is in a trap position, so.
Yeah, tough to find anywhere to go. And they do create the turnover. Alex Steffen intercepted that pass, and he lost his stick. Nelson again. Tough to find anywhere to go. They'll try this side. Marcel LeBlanc. A little bit of room on the left. Now they'll move it up. Hats off, pick that off. They'll get it in over the blue line. Shepard. Long shot in. Went off a stick up over the goal. That shot down from their own side of the center red line, so we'll come back down to our left for a face-off.
Well, in big games, George, I'm not the greatest fan of the trap system. It's a patient way. You're waiting for the opposition to make a mistake. But one thing I've noticed about the Ducks, their passing has been very, very exact up to now. So they haven't given much pizzas out there for the others to gobble up. So we'll see how long this kind of matchup exists here. If Hats Off continues with this.
Elliott wins the face-off for Hats Off. Backhand it down low. It's Howard threw it around the boards. It'll get out. Ducks will change. Hats Off get it in over the blue line, no further. Now they've got it again. This is Miles Elliott. Stick knocked out of his hands, and that's going to be a penalty.
Well, that is what I call an unnecessary penalty, because really that's a giveaway and may give Hats Off the offense here that they've been looking to give. I don't know if Hats Off has made a pass in the offensive zone yet, but they will now.
Well, they're on the power play. Austin Gretsch gone to the penalty box. For the Ducks, so we'll see what Hats Off can do now. Again, it'll be Elliott to take the face-off. Again, he wins it. Back at the point. Ramsey. There's the big one-timer from Cooper. Broke his stick. Wrong time for that to happen. Not that there's a good time, but there's another shot. That one by Curtis Nestor. Ramsey's got it again back at the left point. Go back to Nestor. Work it down the right side. Sharp angle. Off a foot and be kept in. Ivan Brewer now back at the right point. Scores! No, they don't. Off the goal, off the crossbar. Thought it was in. Waved off immediately. Hit the crossbar. Straight out. That comes off the end boards. Again, it'll be kept in. Good work done by Nestor. That shot was blocked, and this time it'll be cleared by the Ducks.
That was some great work there by Hats Off, George, to find that man in the slot.
Just under a minute to go in the power play. Players line up along the blue line. Nestor will go over on the right side. They'll get it in. Cooper. Back to Ramsey. His shot. That goes wide. Brewer couldn't get it through to the goal, and out it comes. Time winding down in the power play. Less than 30 seconds to go now in the man advantage for Hats Off. Getting to it first was Kakovic. Couldn't get it out. Bounces around at the blue line. Hats Off, keep it in. Winding down now in the power play. Just 5 seconds left to go. Played away by the goaltender, and out they come. The penalty is over. Here's Gretsch out of the penalty box. Missed short side. Pilon kept it in over along the boards. Gretsch has it. Streaking in was Woods. His shot went wide. The net has been moved, and we'll get a whistle. So coming out of that penalty kill, the Ducks pick up where they left off.
Right. A great venue here, George. Fantastic rink here for the players to play in. I see no running problems as far as, their grip on the floor. So this is my first game watching here, so I'm very impressed with this venue, George.
Yeah, this is the arena that is the home to the Mississauga Steelheads of the OHL and the Raptors 905 of the NBA G League. So it gets a lot of use. Beautiful facility, a professional arena, not just a community rink. Brampton with a chance to move it out now, get it down into Ducks territory. Running hard in there was Cameron Shepard. And again, this is what we saw in the early minutes. Robertson will shoot it in. Back to pick it up. Parancello back behind the goal. A long Hail Mary pass. That's going to get over the goal line, and the face-off will come back down in the Brampton end.
Well, from what I understand, George, these teams know each other well. So these are coaching decisions, knowing their oppositions. Maybe it's a little bit like a boxing match. I noticed even when Hats Off was breaking out there that the Ducks fell into a trap system. So, somebody is going to have to make the commitment to put their chips in very soon.
Face-off win for the Ducks. Kakovic's shot is stopped and held on.
Well, that's another example how big face-offs are in the offensive zone there, and what an offensive thrust you can get from them. So the defensive center and the offensive center, these are important moments.
Robertson to take the face-off for the Ducks. Goes to the boards. Down in the corner, rung around by Fisher. It will get out. And look at the hustle there of Miles Elliott to get to it first for Hats Off. Working against Kakovic. Kakovic is going to pick up a penalty. He's going to go to the penalty box too for tripping. Hats Off will go back on the power play.
For the young players watching, George, that's the essence of ball hockey right there. The running that player just made really put the Hamilton player in a difficult position. And he earned that penalty by his effort. And historically, that's the way Canadians have always played ball hockey. So good on that young lad for that effort there, George.
Miles Elliott, he's out there now to take the face-off on the power play. And they will control it. Cooper, he's got a new stick. Broke the last one he had on the power play. That went off a couple of people in front of the goal to the boards. Howard for the Ducks, short-handed, get away a good shot, just missed it short side. Picked up by Huey Shepard. Flip it in, that is kept onside, good play by Ramsey. On it first is LeBlanc. He likes to go back behind his goal to McKinnon. And Howard will slap it down the floor. Both teams changing as we approach the halfway point of this power play. 1 minute to go now. Ramsey, just dump it in. They'll go into forecheck, try and get possession that way. In there first was Nelson for the Ducks. And out it goes. That gets rejected.
Number 3 and number 6 are two powerful defenders back there for Hamilton.
Eric Nelson, Brent Mio. Nelson's a big guy. Try the same thing. Flip it in, forecheck. Again, that doesn't work. Might want to try something else next time. Not going to be much time left. Just 20 seconds to go in their man advantage. Game has moved along quickly. Under 5.5 to go in the first period. Well, that one right back out. That stung. That was blocked by Eric Hicks, and he felt that. Penalties over. Back come the Ducks. Ball is loose in front of the goal. The goaltender sprawling, kept it out. It's Jesse Soares. Now he's lost his stick. Howard towards the goal. It changed direction. Comes into the corner. Trying to get Soares' stick back. Now he is able to pick it up. Off the boards. Racing after it. Hats off. Sliding it in front. The Ducks get back and break that up. Howard back to McKinnon. He'll come back this side to Howard. Tried to spin away. Did get it up ahead. Charlebois didn't get much on that, and the hats off will bring it back out. Got it in over the blue line, so they're onside. Howard has it. Get rid of it. Fisher. To Stephen. Cleared off the boards by the goaltender Bishop. He's a cool customer back there. Saw them play a game yesterday, and he was sensational. Never seems to panic in goal. Two players crash right at the blue line outside the Ducks players bench. Not a lot of whistles in this game. It's shot in by Gretsch. Soares out to play it. His defenseman pointed one way, he went the other. Ball went up in the air. Gotra. Hats off player pushed to the boards by Kakovic. Didn't get it out. Right on goal. Bishop plays it away. We've got another penalty coming up. This one will go again to the Ducks. 3 in a row. Brent Mio heading to the penalty box.
Yeah, and unfortunate. The Ducks had a chance to maybe get it out there, and they didn't, and they got caught. And when you take a step in the wrong direction in ball hockey, it's bad news, and that's what happens. But you know, George, CBHA and Canadian ball hockey are in pretty good shape. This isn't bad ball hockey at all for D. It's very good level. Great skill, good running. The goaltenders are very good. The teams are very well run. They got big benches. So, you tell me this is a D final. It's good.
Yeah, it's only the semifinal.
Yeah, well, the semifinal. That's right. But
absolutely for D division, and I talk to a lot of people about ball hockey, and I've been doing the webcast for a number of years now. Ball hockey, is it really that big? I said, you've got to be kidding. You've got to come and see it. I was mentioned the other night, 8 provinces represented here this week. 34 teams, and this is the BC. Indeed, there's 2 more events coming up this summer. It is huge in this country. People don't understand it.
Well, you know what, George, as I went on to Hockey Canada meetings in the IHF, I always used to tell those ice hockey people that ball hockey is the vitamin of health for hockey as a whole, and I hope people get their head around it, because all you need is a stick and a ball to play.
And it's, you know this better than anybody, past president of the ISBHF, the International Street and Ball Hockey Federation. Countries all around the world play this game. It's amazing. Countries that don't play hockey because if you need the ice, you need the skates, you need all the equipment, but they can play ball hockey. Anybody can play.
That's right, George.
When I went to my first ISBHF event, I couldn't believe where teams were coming from. Teams representing India and Greece, Japan.
And I think the ISBHF is doing great work to continue that growth. As you know, I was working with Hungary, IHF, in the Czech Republic. So, things are moving. But, here we have hats off with their 3rd power play. They got to hit on one of these.
Well, you know what happens. If you don't, after getting 3 chances in a row, you know where the next one's going.
Got it.
Rumbolt shot cleared away by Bishop, the goaltender. Cooper off the target. Still a minute 15 to go. Ramsey. Rumbolt to Ramsey. His shot hit the outside of the net and up in the air. Still controlled by Hats Off. They've had good control on all three of their power plays, but have yet to take advantage. This is another nice save by Bishop. Got the right pad down. Read that play perfectly, and then it's cleared down the floor.
That was a great save, and Hats Off has to be careful because at the end of their first two, they nearly got scored on with some scoring chances.
That's flipped from their own side of center. That's a mistake. There's no reason not to get that over center before you make that play.
Well, you know, sometimes players have brain cramps out there, George. But
it's easy from up here, by the way.
Yeah. But you're right. The Hamilton goalie, you know, he's quite the cool customer back there and a very good ball handler.
Yeah, even with that save there, no sense of panic. Just read the play, slid over, put the pad down, blocked it.
You know, Hats Off is going to have to put a good shot to beat him. That's what it looks like right now.
Seldom see Justin Bishop out of position in goal. All right, just over 20 seconds to go in the power play. Again, they'll try that play where they shoot it in and then send the players into forecheck and try and gain possession. It hasn't worked real well. Just 10 seconds to go. They get it this time. Cook will go right side. Sharp angle. Easy save for Bishop. It's batted off the end wall. Penalty is now over. Taken down in the corner. Nestor got it behind the goal. Nestor now out in front. A couple of whacks at it. Defenseman dives out on top of the ball. That was a bit of a scramble.
It was. Good ball control there by Hats Off. And this is almost looking like a soccer match. I think the goal's going to be golden here. You know, they're really, I think these teams know each other very well, is what I see. So, you know, they're very well prepared for this game. It's like a scientific boxing match, George, going on in ball hockey.
Shepard to face off against Robertson. Shepard wins it. Clean win. Shot put wide of the goal, though. McKinnon has it behind his goal. Gets it up along the boards. Looking for Gretsch. Mio trying to bull his way through. And now the penalty's coming up. Guess which team it's going against. It will go against Brampton. Hats Off. Number 17, Adam Cook. He and Mio were jostling inside the blue line.
Yeah, that six on Hamilton's a powerhouse, and you have to account for him. And that was quite the collision between those two there.
According to the referee, Cook continued it beyond the play. Gets called for roughing, the extra shove at the end of it. Get another timeout with 14.7 seconds left to go in the period. Ducks about to have their first power play.
George, I've been lucky enough to go across Canada and watch ball hockey all over, and you're from Newfoundland. One of the greatest teams I ever saw were the Best Western Travelers.
Legendary.
Coached by Randy Brown, Captain Sean Donovan, Glenn Seymour, Andy Sullivan. I'll throw some other historical stuff at you, but you know, that hard-working forechecking style was brought really to the CBHA in great color by those Newfoundland teams, hard-working teams, and part of the heritage of our sport. And I'm sure a lot of them would be enjoying watching this game right now. Maybe telling the boys to forecheck a little bit more, but hey, so far it's been a quick game.
14.7, that's all that's left in the opening period. Here's a power play for the Ducks. Face-off win, though, for Hats Off, but they turn it over. A good shot on goal, and it's out of play. 7 seconds left to go.
Well, that goalie...
That was a mistake.
Yeah, that goalie bailed out that defenseman there with a great save. And he's a big tender, too. So both of these teams are going to have to put a great shot to beat these goalies, to get it to the gold medal game against one of the Quebec teams.
How often have I talked about guys making that clearing pass up the middle? It seldom turns into anything good. And you saw an example of it. Buzzer goes. The penalty will carry over into period 2. We'll have a minute 46 left to go in the second period. When we come back, we'll take a break. It's a quick break. We don't need the Zamboni to clear the ice or anything. It's 3 minutes, and then we'll be back. Let's hear from our official sponsor for these national championships, Napper. No score after the opening 15 minutes between the Hamilton Ducks and the Brampton Hats Off. Ducks will start the second period on the power play, and they'll bring it in right away. They've got a minute 40 left to go in their man advantage. It's Kakovich here on the left side. He'll quarterback this power play. That went off the stick of Cameron Shepard into the corner. Ducks maintain possession. Kakovich. And the Gretsch stepping in. Oh, there was room on that far side. We could see it from here. Just missed it. Goalie overplayed a little bit to his right. Gretsch saw it as well, just couldn't quite connect. Player tied up in front. A penalty for holding.
I give him a 5-on-3, George. And one thing I noticed when Hamilton was warming up, I think they only have 1 or 2 right shots. So in that power play, usually you have a right shot on the off shot, and you saw they got that opportunity. That split second makes a difference, but they got 5 left shots out there right now. So they're not going to be able to get the one-timer across the floor, without changing that. And I see they may have put no, still 5 left shots.
5 lefts.
Yep.
Exactly 1 minute left to go in their man advantage. Turning, trying to get it out was Fisher. It'll be kept in by the Ducks. As you mentioned, it's now 5-on-3. Howard. Down in the corner. Agnew with a shot from a sharp angle. Howard's got it again.
They put the ball in the net there. Hamilton scored on the power play there with a shot on a rebound, George.
Of course, if I leave my seat for 10 seconds to go deal with a little technical issue, they're going to score. That's the way it goes. So 1-0 for the Ducks.
We'll see strategically now if that changes hats off mindset here with 28 minutes and a little bit left. Did they get a little bit more aggressive on the forecheck? There is a lot of time left.
They stay on the power play. That was a 5-on-3 goal.
And you saw on that power play, George, with 5 left shots, they were trying to get the left trigger on the right side there to work it for the one-timer. And now they have a more traditional setup with some right shot out there.
All right, so now it's 5-on-4, leading 1-0. Left you to do the play-by-play on that one, George. I knew you could handle it.
Oh.
The one-timer kicked away. Ducks have it again. Charlebois, he'll try the one-timer. And good hustle over on the right side by Brent Mio to hold it in. Now he gets forced out. It's pretty much going to do it for the power play. Just a couple of seconds left. Charlebois drops it off. Long shot saved by Soares. Goes to the boards. Huey Shepard will take it for Brampton. Hats off. Long pass up at the blue line, right onto the stick of Hayden Ramsey. Ramsey gains his own. Cut into the middle, trying to create a little bit of space. Had it taken away. Almost a 2-on-1. Hicks threw it in front. Soares missed it. Kept in by the Ducks. LeBlanc. In behind the goal. Manages to get it in front from a sharp angle. It bounces around. It's right in the crease. And finally cleared away by the Hats off. Right in front it comes again. The Ducks beginning to tilt the floor a little bit. Most of the play down to our left.
Yeah, it's a good point you make, George. In ball hockey, it's so important for you young players watching to be first on the ball. And sometimes that just takes a little bit of effort and the right body positioning. And right now, the Ducks are winning that battle. I'd say they got 75% of the 50-50 balls, and that makes a big difference in a game.
Now you're going to make me do math. 75% of 50-50, okay. No.
Of the 50-50 balls.
I know.
Right. That means they're 25% ahead, George. I think.
If I'd known there was going to be math, I would never have agreed to do this. All right, cleared down the floor. Unable to catch up to it was Skakovic, so it'll be a face-off back in the Brampton Hats off end.
Well, Hats off got that speedy runner out there, number 9. He's being noticeable today. He's got to get those Jets going. Hamilton has some really strong defenders, which are along with the goaltending is the bulwark of their team.
from the faceoff. Gretsch put it wide on the short side. Nobody picked him up. Gretsch goes high in the air, knocks it down, gets it over to Robertson, plays it in. Agnew. He's poke checked. They'll swing it around the other side. A race to see who can get to it first. And it's cleared out, but Gretsch will get back for Hamilton. Plays it off the boards. Kept in. Touched by a high stick. Brampton. Ducks touch it first. They'll play on. Robertson with it. That one up the middle to Agnew. Agnew gets away. Here's a breakaway. Agnew to the backhand. Save made by Soares, and then he reaches out and swipes it away. Agnew is down and shaken up to the left of the goal.
Great effort there by 61 Agnew. Just to chip it by the D. Almost made a nice move. And once again, number 9 on hats off nearly caused a little bit of an issue for the Hamilton team with his speed. Oh, hats off are right in this game still. They gotta start moving those feet a little bit more, and it's gonna be right there for them to take.
They'll start generating some offense. Got to spend some time down in the Hamilton end.
Yes.
They've been defending through most of this period. Just 4.5 minutes in, so still lots of time for things to turn around. But right now, the Ducks have had the better of the play. Fauciolo down behind the goal line. Protecting the ball. It's it over to Attridge. And they work down low. Fauciolo looking for it. He's got it. Great work by the two players on the Ducks. They don't draw a goal, but I think they're going to send both of them.
Well,
one each going to the penalty box.
Sorry,
George.
Yeah, no problem, George. Number 36 behind the net used his body so well. And this is for you ice hockey players where ball hockey can help you body position-wise. He stuck his rump out there on the boards. And you can translate that into your ice hockey game. With your immaculate positioning, you can learn from ball hockey here. So that was some great work there by number 36 behind the net, using his body. It's hard to get around that.
Yep, Mario Faucioli. Yeah, you get the defender on your back, you keep the ball out in front of you, and it's tough to take it away. So coincidental minors will stay 5-on-5. It's mishandled out at center by Cooper. That will allow the Ducks to get it. Howard. His own blue line. Swings it to the other side. They come to LeBlanc. LeBlanc, long shot in. Ooh, that didn't miss by a lot. The goaltender missed it. Ball goes high in the air. Up along the boards. LeBlanc is over there. Plays it off the boards to Robertson. Back to LeBlanc. They can't get it out though. Kept in by Jason Gill. In behind the Ducks goal. A little bit of time now in that zone. Shot by Cooper. Didn't miss by much. That's what we said the Brampton team needs to do. Spend some time down this end of the floor.
Well, now that, all you have to take is a couple steps there, and you just lost the whole rink there. But some good work there by Hats Off along the boards, those physical transactions. George winning the ball, that's exactly what we're talking about. Hey, this is a semifinal for Canada. You know, how many opportunities are you going to get? These games don't come easily.
8:26 to go, second period. Just one goal in this game. Game on the 5-on-3 power play for the Ducks. There's some work along the boards. The hats off team, just keep working. It's up on the dasher. 4 players in there, Mio and Kakovic, and the hats off team come away with it. Back at center, played back in by Gotra. They'll cycle it down low. Goes to the boards, but that's a poor penalty there by the hats off. They were just getting something going, spending time in the Ducks' end, and then a unwarranted tripping call.
And you know what? One thing about hats off, they're a little bit more of a diminutive team. But they have a
they're
little
smaller
bit of,
is what you're trying to say, right?
Exactly. But they have a little bit of speed, and they were given the Hamilton D a little bit to handle there. But, you know, these penalties in the offensive zone, they could come back to bite you. And if Hamilton scores here, it's going to be problematic.
Yeah, you don't want to take a penalty 200 feet from your own net, and especially when you had something going. Well, the ball was just down in the corner. Wasn't it going to be trouble for Brampton? Just reached out and took the feet out from under the player.
Well, big penalty kill here for hats off to keep it at 1 here.
They'll keep it onside. Whoop. And turn it over. It'll come out. No, it won't. Kept in nicely. They had a chance to move it. A little soft on that clear. That'll allow the Ducks to keep it in. Heisey behind the goal now. Gretsch. Agnew. Back up top. Howard with a shot. Sits in the crease. Brampton have it. This time they'll move it out. Up deep, Gotra. He'll dump it in, and he'll go in to try and cause some trouble, kill some time. Down deep in the Ducks' end.
That's some good running. Good for him.
Kill 15, 20 seconds of that power play. Ducks decide to make a change.
Again, we got the 5 left shots out. Oh, boy.
There's a giveaway. Shepard, short-handed. Fed it in front. Player dives over the top of the goaltender. And George is going to call goaltender interference. Going to put Brampton in a deep hole once again.
That's a tough call, no doubt about it. But you know, I think the ref's mindset is always set on safety, and now you're looking at you got to kill this penalty 2 men short.
45 seconds left in the initial penalty. Timeout called by the Ducks as they sense this could be an important moment. Up by just the one goal. They've got a 5-on-3. They scored on their last 5-on-3 opportunity, so they'd like to make some hay while the sun shines right now.
You know, ideally, hopefully they get a right shot, you know, on the left side there, because with 5 less shots, you're really slowing down the ability to get something past the goalie by surprise there. So we'll see how the coaches set it up here. You know, killing 5-on-3 with 5 left shots, you can kind of cheat a little bit. So we'll see what they got here as they come out on the floor.
They can sort of take away one side of the floor. All right, what have we got? All lefties out there, George.
Well, maybe they're going to prove me wrong and make it work.
"45 seconds to work on this 5-on-3 with 6:37 to go. Second period, 1-0, Ducks leading it. Winner goes to the gold medal game tomorrow. The loser have to try and salvage a bronze. Redo the face-off.
Oh, that's too bad. Number 9.
Yeah.
You know, you're looking at a couple times down the floor, and they'll get the first one killed off, but it's too bad there.
Elliott against Agnew. Elliott wins it cleanly, but they can't get it out. There's Howard. We'll go the other side. Agnew right in front. They were trying to get it to Attridge, who's set up in front of the goaltender. That shot went wide. Off the boards. It'll be kept in. I think it's just a crease violation. Or are they going to call a penalty? Players heading to the penalty box, so that answers that question. It's going to be a penalty to the Ducks. Danny Attridge tripping. Just watching the action up a little higher as they were moving it around. Did not see the trip.
I missed that one too, George. But that's very advantageous for hats off right now. I mean, when you got a chance to put a team away, you got to do it. So Hamilton just gave up an opportunity there.
Hamilton still on the power play. 4-on-3 for 19 seconds. Then we'll do some 4-on-4 ball hockey, barring any other goals or penalties. Any other such nonsense? Let's see what happens.
A smart play.
Yeah, kill off that few seconds you've got left shorthanded, and then go 4-on-4. And that first penalty now is over, so we are 4-on-4. A giveaway coming out of the penalty box is Jason Gill. There's Agnew. Get it in, Gretsch. High over the top of the goal. Elliott gets to it first for Brampton. Knocked down by Mio. A little room to roam out there. 4-on-4. Ivan Brewer gets it to the front of the goal. Again, Bishop calmly gets it to his defense.
Well, Hatsoff been doing a little bit more running, being a little bit more sprightly lately. Certainly in this Canadian semifinal, still up for grabs.
Things slow down after a frantic pace in the last couple of shifts. Now they'll move it. Mio stopped as he got in over the blue line. So now it's a power play for the Hats Off. Brief one. They've got 15 seconds. They get away a good shot. Kicked away, and then it's cleared down the floor, and that's going to do it. The one opportunity on that brief power play.
Nice little play there.
Turnover, wraparound, net is knocked loose. Mistake that time by Bishop.
You know, he looks like he's such a confident ball handler there. That was kind of surprising to see. We should say, George, that the winner will play a team from Quebec. And Quebec, we know as being a powerhouse in this sport. And when I coached Canada, I had the chance to coach Alexander Burrows, who was a wonderful person and a great ball hockey player. And we all know he ended up with the Vancouver Canucks. And I had him when he was 19 all the way till he was 23. And I think ball hockey was a huge development for him.
Yeah, off the top, when I introduced you, I mentioned a few things you were involved in, but if we went through your whole resume, we'd have to wait till the game was over before we finished, and we'd never get to it. That's going to be a whistle and a face-off back in the Ducks' end, down to 3:42 to go in the second.
And it's too bad because I always tell players I'm coaching that the boards are your friend.
Yep.
Just a little bit more delicate there. That would have been a wonderful play. Too often players are trying to get it through a guy. In ball hockey, the board's a nice little chip to your buddy, or, away they go.
Yeah, I mentioned earlier, when you try and clear it up the middle, make that pass up the middle, unless you are 100%, it usually turns into something bad. Get it out and go to work. Gretsch to Robertson on his off wing, put it wide. There's Cooper. Up at the blue line, taken by Nestor. They'll get it in to the offensive zone. Ball goes up in the air to the near boards. Picked up there by the Ducks. Howard, he gets cut off, trying to cut through the middle. It's kept in, chipped high in the air. It's a nice little wedge shot right there. Floated in. Fisher, hard around the boards. Little give and go. Drop it off for Elliott. Shot was blocked and it ricochets all the way out, and jumping on it is Fauciolo. Brampton running hard now through the middle. They don't get it deep. It's turned over and back come the Ducks. Elliott back in his own end. And we're down to 2 minutes left to go now in the second period. Still just the one goal in this game. The 5-on-3 power play. Soares will leave it for Elliott. He'll come back to Elliott.
It's been a little bit more 50-50 the last little while, George. The running of hats off is starting to show.
Attridge played it back to his defense. Nelson stops up behind the goal, and see a little bit of this again. Slow build up. They'll go back. Russell. Up through the middle. Dumped in by Heisey and behind the goal. Pirancello gets to it. Into the final minute now. Period number 2. It's a tight one. Turnover. LeBlanc trying to get to it. And that's actually Hicks. 93 threw it in front. Tried to get it to Andrew Woods. Just a little bit ahead of him. Bishop, long pass. Talked about his ability to handle the ball. There it was. Like a third defenseman. That was mishandled by Soares. Now the net is knocked off.
Yeah, that's a weapon back there. It's quite apparent to me, George, that Hatsoff has a lot of running, and they have to augment that even more into their game in the third period to get Hamilton off the ball possession they've had. And certainly we've seen that in the latter part of the second period. Hatsoff has played a lot better, getting the ball in their end. But again, if you want to get to the final against Quebec, one of those Quebec teams, you gotta make it happen now in the last period in 20 seconds here.
Yeah, the other D semifinal being played at Rink 4. Fat Roy against the Bengals. So it will be an Ontario-Quebec final tomorrow in the men's D. One last chance, Agnew, and then it's batted out of the air just wide by Attridge. 8 seconds to go. That would have been huge. The Ducks could have scored in the last few seconds of this period. Time's going to run out. We're going to go into the third period. Still just a one-goal game. 1-0 for the Hamilton Ducks over the Brampton Hats Off as we head into the third period. We'll take a break and be back in 3 minutes from now. Let's hear it once again from Napper. Okay, so here we go. Just 15 minutes in regulation time left to play. Just a one-goal game. Ducks lead Hats Off 1-0. Let's see what the third period brings, George.
Well, I think for Hats Off, they got to start pressing with a forecheck, and they started that way right off. And you see what that does, George, is it changes the paradigm, and I'm using big words
I
here.
tell you, yeah.
But it changes the time the defense has to change to offense. And, it's not so easy to get the ball out. So they started hunting the ball there that first shift. And if they keep that up, it's going to make a big difference.
Well,
you put a penny in the piggy bank, sooner or later it's going to break.
So that's where that expression comes from.
Wow.
Break the bank.
That's it. Forecheck, back check, paycheck.
That's it, yeah. Ducks gain the zone. That's Gretsch. He gets a lot of floor time. There's Mio out there, another player who sees the ball a lot. Gretsch knocked it down. Shot saved by Soares. Rebound cleared away by Ramsey. This is Mio to the front of the goal. That's picked off. Brampton will bring it back up the floor. Great job here on the left side by Ramsey to keep that toe on the blue line, to keep it onside. Unfortunately, his team didn't maintain possession. He's going to head to the bench.
Soares has made some big saves to keep the Hats Off it. Great goaltending.
That's going to go into the bench. The door was open.
At the end of the second period, he made a big save, and he just made another one. And if Hats Off can come back, Soares is keeping them in this game. with a shot of playing for gold, to say you're the best in Canada.
We got the new trophies this year. Playing for the Jack Cup. It's kind of cool. It's broken up just inside the blue line. Battle along the boards right down below us. Cleared in by Nestor behind the goal. It's Nelson for the Ducks. It's high in the air. Knocked down by Fisher, then he lost it. Arugio, who we haven't seen in the game, out there now for the Ducks. Number 91. He's got the ball. To Shepard. Stopped by Attridge. Attridge has it. Chipped ahead. Running onto it, Charlebois. He was dispossessed. So I can use big words too, George.
It's a good one.
Yeah, I like that one. Break that one out every now and then. Woods up through the middle. Broken up at the last second. Shot right on goal. Big rebound given up by Bishop. Somehow he gets over and stops that. Out of position. Looked like the net was empty. May have gone wide. What a great chance.
Yes, he did.
Brampton offside.
Well, hats off have moved their operation a little bit more forward and trying to instigate a little bit more play. Obviously, time is running down here. But it's not as clean of a breakout for Hamilton as it was in the early parts of this game.
.317 gone in the third period. Mio and Elliott battling there. Mio wins. That gets it up ahead to Agnew. Agnew tried to push it ahead, but Elliott's got it. That's still onside. Elliott shot over the top of the goals. It went off the stick of Mio. They'll come back to the point. Allowed to walk in, threw it out in front, cleared away by the Ducks. That's still in play. Here's Agnew. Just gently flips it into the Brampton zone. Brampton coming on here in the third period.
It's all instigated by pushing players up into the play.
Kakovic be forced to get rid of it. Arugio to Gretsch. Get it in over the blue line. Pass off the mark. He was looking to give it to Arugio. Now Arugio's got it. Arugio shot. Missed the far side by a few feet. Kept in by Nelson. In behind the goal. Arugio's got it again. To the side of the goal. In behind, and Brampton come away. Flip it down the floor. Nelson goes back to get it. Quickly across to McKinnon. McKinnon up through the middle. Shot in by Arugio, and Arugio heads to the bench after a pretty good shift. Cook pinned to the boards. LeBlanc working hard.
LeBlanc's been working hard all game.
Working hard all week. In a few of their games. Yeah, he's never stops out there. At the side of the goal, Bishop has it. He will cover it.
You know, it's noticeable to see a player that doesn't change their work ethic, and he works hard all the time. And you know, whether you're a high performance player or you just play for fun, that's the beauty of ball hockey. You get out there, you run hard, you make some plays, you play a little bit of hockey. But, you know, LeBlanc, he goes out there and he works hard every shift. And his teammates got to love him for it.
It's one of those players can be a bit of an instigator, too. You'd love to have him on your team.
Oh, yeah, I've met up with a few of those in my day, George.
Someone said you were one. Is that any truth to that?
No.
In behind the Brampton goal. Okay, now we'll see this again, that trap set up. They break it right through the middle. Brewer lost his balance as he cut in front of the goal. Tried to play it back out in front. It's kept onside. Nice play by Ramsey, and he avoids a second player. Ramsey got himself a good rush going. Finally stopped by Hicks.
That was one too many. He had a player on the far side, but a great effort.
Yeah, you can beat one, you can beat two, but you can't beat everybody, usually. Only a handful of guys can do that.
Obviously, you didn't see me play, George?
Well, you were one of the handful. I left the door open just a little bit. That's going to be a flooring call. We'll come back down to our right.
But, you know, you've noticed that Hamilton in the first half of this game would have, 3-4 nice passes breaking out. It's just not there. When Hats Off doesn't trap, their speed puts them in position to really put a little bit of heat of a forecheck, on this Hamilton team. And it's changed the flavor of this match.
Face-off controlled by Brampton. That's going to result in the same thing, though, a face-off back in their own end.
Well, Hats Off does love we used to call it alley-oop.
Yep.
But it's a real talent. We had a guy on the Fernview Rangers that won 3 national championships, Sal Bambachi, that would work on that flip at practice, and he had it down to an art. You got to get a little bit of height, and you got to make sure it clears the center line. Rarely did he get called for flooring, George.
I've got one convert.
Yeah.
Robertson waved out. Agnew comes in to take it. Ducks win it. Shot over the top of the goal by Mio. Hard work along the boards. He kept in. Kakovic did a good job. He's right in front and cleared away. Elliott in over the blue line. Little stop and go. Working against Kakovic. Tries it a second time. Hits it to the side of the goal. Goes in behind. He's got it again. Hits it to a teammate. Elliott behind the goal. Right out in front and a big save made by Bishop. Great opportunity for the Brampton Hats Off. They did great work down low, got it out in front, and Bishop has to come up with a big save.
Well, it was the speed of number 9 along the board starting that whole movie there, and it really was well worked with little give and go, and that would have been a big goal and well deserved. That was a great offensive passage there.
That was the captain, Nestor, who was the recipient of that pass, and got a goal taken away by Bishop. Elliott did great work in behind the goal. Lost it and regained it a couple of times. Cooper into the slot. Shot, another save made by Bishop, this time with the left pad. That one's blocked up high. Good job by Arugio, and the ball goes out of play.
Well, we did say that Hamilton has a very powerful big defense, but hats off, when they're running, they are a load to handle, and they've really made themselves known here and had some really big chances, and that goalie is something else there. He's a wall.
Elliott back out there again for Hats Off to take the face-off, and he wins it. Cooper, too many bodies in front, rattles around it, still loose, and finally comes away. Here's Arugio. Lifts it high. Will anybody get to it? No, they won't. LeBlanc was hustling as hard as he could, but across the goal line, and the face-off will be back in the Ducks' end of the floor.
Not that I'm pulling for anybody, but I was kind of pulling for LeBlanc to get there because the effort he put out. But we're down to 7 minutes now. It is crunch time now. You want to win a gold medal national championship. Big plays got to be made here. Each face-off is big now, George.
It'll be Elliott again staying out there for Brampton. This time the Ducks win it. McKinnon moved it ahead. He'll get it in over the blue line. This is Attridge in front. Unable to get a shot away was Heisey. He comes to the side of the goal. Heisey again with a shot. Again stopped. Elliott blocked that. Doing it on both ends of the floor. Hard work along the boards. That stopped, kept in. Ducks want to make a change, so they won't go into forecheck.
The big save by Soares, but Hatzoff cannot afford to play the trap very much longer. They just have to push if they want to win this game.
They go in behind the goal. Bishop comes out to play it, wraps it around the boards, helps out his defense. Robertson. Over to the other side. Attridge. Tried to shoot it in, but that's going to go out of play up into the mesh.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost at the point, George, where on the strong side, the D's got to be moving up to keep the ball in. Hamilton's got a great goalie there, so you're going to have to get a couple offensive chances to put this game 1-1 and have a shot to win it.
Yeah, nice play a moment ago by Bishop to go out behind the net, ring it around the other side, and just avoid all the forecheckers. He had a forward up along the half wall to Robertson, got it to him, and forecheckers couldn't get in on it.
That's like having another D out there.
Yeah, here's LeBlanc. Pushed against the boards, protects the ball. Finally has it taken away. Brewer couldn't move on it. LeBlanc still battling over along the boards. Not one of the bigger players, but one of the harder workers. Brampton come away with it. Now the Ducks get it out. Agnew can't catch up to it. Fisher got it down the floor for Brampton. Working in there hard is Ramsey. All the players pile in there. Again, more hard work along the boards. Ducks win the battle, clear it down the floor, but this will get over the goal line. 4:48 left to go.
Well, I guess the CBHA is taking its show to Newfoundland next week, George. I take it the people back home, the great supporters of ball hockey there, will be ready to get behind the game again.
Yeah, the Junior Nationals being held in 4 rinks just outside the city of St. John's. The city of St. John's is the official host. The games are being played at the Glacier in Mount Pearl, which is literally touching the city of St. John's. Also in Conception Bay South, a couple of arenas there. The CBS Arena, beautiful facility, just built a few years ago. Also the old Robert French Arena, which the CBS Arena replaced. Both of those in the former town of Kelligrews, which is now part of the greater Conception Bay South area. The other one is in the Goulds. Again, just outside St. John's. Player pushed to the boards. That's going to be a penalty.
Yeah, that's an unfortunate penalty there. No need to finish the straight line to the boards there, and you know that really puts your team in a hole.
Yeah, you're trying to come back from down one, and it's only 4 minutes left, and you take a penalty.
And
in the offensive zone, that's
yeah, exactly. And it's unfortunate because they had a little bit of offensive imagination going, but I guess the captain got a little frustrated there. And here's a chance for Hamilton to put this away because with the sixth defenseman and wall they got back there, it's going to be tough to put three past them. So Suarez is being unbelievable in the hats off net too. So it's not going to be an easy chore for Hamilton either here.
Howard elected to shoot it. Went off a Brampton player, so the faceoff will stay in the Brampton end.
And, you know, the fans watching, if Hats Off could kill this, they're almost in a place where they're going to have to pull the goalie right after. So we'll have to keep an eye out for that.
Howard, Kakovic, will go the other side. Agnew in front, almost tipped it home. It's Gretsch down low along the goal line. It's Agnew with the ball. Kakovic. Howard. Change direction, goes into the corner. Gretsch in there looking for it. He's pushed to the boards. Minute 18 to go in the power play. Fisher. He'll get it out.
He's had a good game back there, big 34.
Bishop out there again to get it away from the forechecker. Shepard, short-handed, steals the ball. Takes it around behind the goal. He goes down. Brampton calling for a penalty. They will not get that. Under 3 to play. Kakovic to Attridge. He'll get it in over the blue line. Woods holding it. Waits for help. Here's Mio. Takes a quick look up at the clock. Sees that there's just over 20 seconds to go in the power play. Heisey scores!
Well, that could have been the death knell there. Well constructed and a great quick shot to beat a great goalie there.
All right, let's take a look at the replay, George. There's Heisey in the high slot.
Yeah, he used the shot blocker as a screen there, and he put it in the top shelf. Great shot. Hats Off pretty much has to kill the rest of this penalty and probably spend the rest of the game with their goalie out when they get ball possession.
Yeah, I was going to say earlier, whether they get scored on or kill it, you're still going to see the goalie come out. Only way you wouldn't is if they scored shorthanded. Down 1 or down 2, they've got to pull the goalie and try and make something happen. Face-off win for the Ducks. So back live. Brampton need to get it out of their own end. They can't get the goalie out if the ball's in their end. And they've got it, but they need to get it moved up the floor. They don't have a lot of time. Dumped in. Suarez still between the hash marks, backing up. Now he'll go. Suarez going to the bench. Net is empty. They've got 6 players out there now. As Elliott, who just came off the bench, fed it in front. Mio has it. Mio high in the air. And that will be a flooring call. Nice play by the Brampton player there. You see that? He looked up, saw where it was, and kind of pretended I think he didn't see it.
Well,
and
yeah.
let it go.
Yeah, and you know,
I think he could have run under it if he picked it up earlier.
There's still a lot of time left here, 139. They get a quick goal here in the next 30, 40 seconds, and it could be interesting. But they're going to have two men on the ball at all times and be hungry for that orange ball.
Yeah, they've called a timeout. Got a discussion over at the timekeeper's bench. Not sure what this is about.
Well, we got some experienced people down there, so I'm sure they're trying to get it all figured out.
Well, whatever it was, they have settled it. 1:39 left to go. Brampton net is empty. It'll be Alex Stephen to take the face-off for Brampton against Tyler Heisey. Heisey got that second goal. Right from the face-off, it's in on goal. Bishop's got it and holds on.
Well, he had the right idea there.
Elliott's in the trigger position if they can get him the ball. Rather, that was Rumble. Ramsey with his shot. That should hit Adridge. He felt that, but he stays with the play, turns, gets it out to the red line, kept onside by Ramsey. Ramsey keeps it in again. Can't shoot it. To the side of the goal. Big save by Bishop. Kept in. Cooper. Ramsey. Blocked. Comes back to Ramsey. Steps around the defender. Plays it down in along the boards. Back to Ramsey. Good play there by Mio. He got a stick in the way of that diagonal pass. Down the floor it goes, heading towards the open net. That's going to do it, George. Empty net goal for the Ducks.
Yeah, and it's too bad because Ramsey made a wonderful play on the side for a tap in there. And he tried it again. And, well, you know, for this game, Hamilton probably had the possession, 65% easily. So it's a just ball hockey result, but these two teams really worked hard. Great goaltending, great effort. It looks like the referees are handing out some misconducts here, George.
Yeah, I mentioned earlier, they're really trying to crack down on any kind of taunting that may be going on. It's tough to see from up here what's being said or any gestures, who knows, but the officials see it and they say we're not going to allow it. It's been a point of emphasis, I think, rightly so.
Well, you know, George, I've been a part of some pretty intense matchups. This game's been pretty cleanly played.
Absolutely. You get a sense, at least from up here, that the two teams do respect each other. Seen after the whistles, guys talking, a little tap on the back, and a little pat here and there. Ooh, that stick got up a little high. Robertson with the empty net goal.
Well, that's always that's a just penalty, but with 30 seconds left, that also diffuses a lot of issues because the hats off will be on the power play and their mind will be on trying to score. And they pulled the goalie here.
Hey, why not?
Have we ever had 3 goals in 33 seconds? You never know. It's always a first.
Not going to happen. And woo, just missed the empty net. The time is going to run out on the Brampton hats off. Down the floor once again, LeBlanc still running. He'll hold it against the board, 7 seconds to go. Time is going to run out.
Well, George,
So I guess we say hats off to the Ducks.
Yeah.
I've been waiting for that
Yeah,
one.
that's a good one. And you know, George, it was fun being in the booth with you. I don't know if the CBHA has ever had 2 Georges in the booth, but to be in with the Bob Cole of ball hockey was an honor and a job well done.
Well, thank you. It was a good game. You picked a good one to sit in on. That was one of the better games we've seen in the last few days. Very competitive. Came down to the last couple of minutes, and with so much on the line, too. Trip to the national championship tomorrow.
Well, we'll be back tomorrow to help you out a little bit, George, and see what other words I can pull out of my hat.
Yeah, you dig out your thesaurus this evening, and we'll see what you come up with. No, I look forward to that, George. It should be fun to do a couple of gold medal games tomorrow with you. 2 or 3, however many you can, tear yourself away to do. I know you're a busy and important man, but if you can spare us a few minutes here and there, it would be appreciated.
I will do my best, George.
All right, we'll just stay for the player of the game presentation, then we'll step aside. We've got another game coming up. I got so caught up in that, I forgot to check to see who's playing, who we've got next. We'll figure it out between games. Yeah, the goaltender, Justin Bishop.
Very fundamentally sound and talented goaltender. Very impressive.
Yeah, I've seen him play a few times, and that's the way he's played every game I've seen him. Same thing. All right, that'll do it. So we'll see the Hamilton Ducks again tomorrow. They'll be in the gold medal game in
Against Quebec.
Against Quebec, one of the Quebec teams. Don't
That's
know
it.
what's happening over in the other arena yet, either the Bengals or the Fat Roy. All right, George, we're going to step aside now. We're going to hear from our national sponsor, Napper, and we'll get ready for our next game. Thanks so much.
Thanks, George.